looking like they in the same clothes.
It's the National Football League on EA Sports. And if it's in the game, it's in the game. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it's kicking off next on Madden NFL 24.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Coming up, we got a good matchup on tap here, as it'll be the Cleveland Browns taking on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, and Charles, kickoff moments away. Quickly, what are you watching in this one?
The offensive line for both teams, because both teams have a terrific pass rush. They've got to keep their passers upright. If they have a chance to do that, they can both thrive on offense and move the ball downfield.
The kicker, Dustin Hopkins, set to get this one going. And off we go from Jacksonville. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They're led by the #1 overall pick in the 2021 draft, Trevor Lawrence.
The word is potential, potential, potential. Think about this guy from the time he was in high school, while the top prospects going to college, coming out of college, mentioned as a generational type quarterback. He looks the part. Tall, big arm, surveys the field, and can take off and run when under duress.
On red. There's a hunt.
They'll start on the ground, ETN, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
Yeah, things were pretty stacked up there in the middle of the line. A lot of bodies, not much space. I think ultimately he was fortunate to get anything out of that run.
Hey, Lion,
From the
Lion.
20, here's the 2nd and 9.
Silver.
Here's a give to Bigsby. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and they're left with a 3rd and 8. It shows you right there, he can do more than just cover in the secondary from that free safety position.
Yeah, the evolution of the position has really been significant, hasn't it? Because a lot of teams no longer have a free safety, strong safety designation. They just have safeties. So wherever the ball is, one can be close to the line of scrimmage, one can be deep, and vice versa. On that play, how about that tackle we just saw? Pretty nice.
Great vision there by Lawrence as he scrambles for a 1st down.
Certainly not a positive sign if you're the D coordinator and you see your guys give up that space so early in the game. 3rd down, that's when the clamps are supposed to come out, but his ability to create things with his legs makes things difficult.
And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. Here's a 2nd and 8.
That play reminded me a lot of a former teammate of mine. We used to call him the trash man. His ability to sift through traffic and make plays was uncanny.
And that's exactly what you want from your Mike linebacker. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
On 4th down, on is Logan Cook to punt. Back deep, Nyheim Hines. Pulled in at the 24. Fighting through it, he's got space. They're trying to tiptoe the pylon, but they're going to say he stepped out at the 1-yard line. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And it's the best possible spot to begin a drive. 1st and goal at the 1-yard line. So here are the Browns now with great starting field position. They will be led out by their dual-threat quarterback, the veteran from Clemson. It's Deshaun Watson.
And he's going to trot onto the field. He might even sprint onto the field after that one. That's a momentum play. That big punt return probably yelled over to the special teams guys, thanks, because now they've got a chance to cash in prime real estate territory.
Chubb is into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. So good job there, Charles, taking advantage of the short field, and they score first, punching it in on the short touchdown run.
I love the theme there, right? They didn't have to do anything big on that drive. Took advantage of where they were on the field. The only thing big on that drive, the 6 on the scoreboard.
Dustin Hopkins on now to add the extra point. It's up and through to make it 7-0 Browns. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. Devin Duvernay now returning from the end zone. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. Now Lawrence. Screenplay. Here's Etienne. Brought down around the 16 or 17. Had a nice move but couldn't free much space. So the screen good for only 2. Now it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here's Logan Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Rush comes, and he'll score. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there. Taking it in. And the Browns are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Here's Hopkins now for the extra point. And it's good to make it 14-0. Well, not only did they block it, the awareness to go and grab it and then take it into the end zone for 6 points.
Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. On the return, Devin Duvernay. And he's only going to make it to the 13-yard line and no further. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now.
Hey. Take right open.
Here's Lawrence. Flushed out right. And he'll take this beyond the line of scrimmage as he slides to a hole. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
8 yards that time, able to take off, and the result is a first down. Now Lawrence going to get his guys to go quickly. On first down, he'll drop to throw. Throw right side, caught by Davis. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. On second down, a run with ETN. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. They go play action now. Lawrence. And the throw there going to be incomplete. The passing game not in sync here early. And now it's fourth down.
Not many boos just yet from this home crowd, but they may be starting soon as I'm starting to detect an uneasy murmur through this crowd. This offense, they've been lifeless in this first half. And now here's another punting situation and a fourth down.
Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Browns will take over, first and 10. And the Browns going to go on offense one final time in this first half. They may just try to get this to the locker room. And the defense loses him. It's complete. And he is finally forced out of bounds inside the 30-yard line. A big play there just before halftime. 49 yards.
This offense is looking very comfortable here in this first half. Very relaxed, very smooth, very efficient. No wasted motions. Things are definitely going their way, and they continue to move the ball downfield.
Let's go. Let's dominate this.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, first and 10. Here's Watson. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Amari Cooper, as the first half is winding down. And the Browns would extend their lead here just before halftime. Well, I don't think that we're ready yet to say the route is on, but they have certainly looked near flawless here in this first half, and now an extra point away from making it 21-0.
Yeah, and your experience led you to say that because we have both seen those 21-0 leads come and go in this league. But this one feels pretty darn secure. And here's the other part. Even when people chip away at it, it forces you into being almost perfect on the other side, doesn't it, in order to try and mount a comeback.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And it's now 21-0.
Jaguars nothing. Justin Hopkins set to kick off.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. And with only 9 seconds remaining, well, not much time, we'll see how they play this. They'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. So we come upon halftime, and it's the visiting Browns with a lead. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a solid first half out of the workhorse Nick Chubb. He wound up finding the end zone on a touchdown run to help give his guys the advantage here at the break. Both these teams running through their final adjustments before they head out of the locker room. We're just about set for the second half. And to bring it your way, let's go back upstate to Jacksonville and Brandon Gott.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. The Browns offense set to go to work to begin this third quarter. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence, because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Just need a yard here, 2nd and 1. They run it again with Chubb. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
On first down, they'll run with Chubb. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
This is 2nd and 8. Coming right, this is Chubb on the toss. And good space to operate there as he takes this down inside the 35-yard line. Just what the Browns needed there. Good for a gain of 17.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And a short gain down to about the 33. Tackled there by Rayshon Jenkins.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Nick Chubb with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Browns will add on to their lead here in the final minute of the 3rd. So another touchdown there, and even though we're still just here in the 3rd quarter, kind of hard now to see them giving up this lead.
And this is just an offense that's imposing its will right now. You name it, they're able to do it. If you're the play caller, whatever you want to select is there. You want to run it, you want to throw it, pick a play, any play. They're rocking and rolling right now.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes the score 28-0.
Jaguars nothing. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And they're going to mark that where it went out of bounds, so really good starting field position up past the 40-yard line. Well, not one you see often there as he fails to keep it between the sidelines, and that is a penalty every time, and going to give this offense better field position.
And it's every kickoff guy's nightmare, isn't it? Because you don't see yourself doing this, and most of the time you don't. It's absolutely a miss-hit, and now your team pays the price. Bad field position.
The pressure gets to Lawrence, and he'll go down. Buried by multiple defenders on the drive's first play. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Jacksonville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4.
Hey, Lion.
So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Lawrence will throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. At this point, down big, you'd have to imagine this defense are just going to sit back, blanket the field as best they can.
Yeah, this is actually the easy part of the game for them because, just as you noted, they can sit back, keep everything in front of them. But they've blanketed the field the entire game using a variety of coverages.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that's incomplete.
Well, how about the coverage we just saw him break out on 3rd down? Dime defense, blanketed the field with extra defensive backs and speed, unable to find an open hole to complete that pass.
All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
24. Here we go.
Here we go. Got to have it. Lawrence. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Denzel Ward. Inside the 20. He had his eyes on the end zone. He got close. At least he set the offense up nicely, but he's probably mad he didn't take that one to pay dirt.
I agree with you, and you know he's going to get teased because he didn't get it all the way into the end zone. But if they don't score now, if they don't get a touchdown, he won't just get teased. They'll be glaring at him. How'd you not score?
And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they can run this score up even further as they begin this drive with a 1st and goal and that huge lead. So quite a turn of events. This is 1st and goal from the 3. A carry here for the big tight end. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, Charles, they had the comfortable lead, and now it's even more comfortable. Another score here in the 4th quarter to grow that lead.
But I think your initial reaction is surprise when you see a team piling it on this late in a blowout. But there are plenty of coaches who also think that if you pull up completely and stop trying to play the game, it shows disrespect to their opponent. So they don't want to embarrass them. They continue to let their players go for it.
Extra point good by Hopkins. And that makes this 35-0 now.
Jaguars nothing. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. This fielded right at the goal line. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped at the 14. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. At this point, partner, things looking pretty bleak. They still haven't scored here in the 4th quarter, facing the big deficit. What silver linings, what can they look to do here offensively?
You know, it's funny, I talked about this with a coach in the offseason and kind of had this scenario, like what feels good to you and what feels good to your team. You're down big. You really have like one possession left, and you're trying to put points on the board that don't matter. But do they? And he told me they actually do matter. And in this situation, he's going to try and run the best offense he can run to have at least a little bit of confidence to take away from that game. So right now, they're going to try their best to get something up on the board and not get shut out.
A well-designed corner blitz that gets him for a loss of 8 yards. So now after the sack of Lawrence, the Jags looking at a 3rd and long. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. The safety blitz staged to perfection that time as they sack him for a loss of 6.
So if we recount real quick, he had the touchdown earlier, and now he comes up with the sack here. No doubt about it, he's having himself a game.
Here's Logan Cook now. Remember, though, he did have one blocked earlier. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Hines now on the return. And he's going to get this down inside the 5 before he's out of bounds. He had his sights on the end zone, no doubt, but is brought down after a huge return there. And this is going to set up 1st and goal inside the 5-yard line. Cleveland offense making their way out. And now after the big punt return that got him down here, they'll try to make it pay off. 1st and goal. So now just like that, things change dramatically. It's 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back through the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. safe to say we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
Hopkins with the extra point, and it is 42-0.
Jaguars nothing. Dustin Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Jaguars getting set to go.
Well, I hate to say it, but at this point, I don't really know that they're playing to win with this deficit in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to erase that 0 on the scoreboard, Charles, and get some type of momentum to carry into the film session tomorrow.
If you get any type of points on the board, it'll count as a moral victory, although no one will talk about that in the post-game press conference. That's not something you mentioned in the NFL. And this loss, it already stings and will for a while, but everyone on that offense knows it'll sting a lot worse if they don't put some points up on the board.
Here's 2nd and 10. Now Lawrence. They'll try and set up the screen to Etienne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets this football out shy of the 30 to the 29. That one good for a gain of 13 for Jacksonville and a first down.
Good for Jacksonville. 1st and 10 at the 29-yard line.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. And that is incomplete. Now the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down. Well, the trials and tribulations of being a quarterback in this league, it's tough. It's got to be wearing on him out there.
Well, he has been sacked a number of times. He had an interception, so I'm going to give him a skosh of credit for hanging in there and trying to make something happen, despite the amount of pressure he's been under this entire game.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
Lawrence. A throw on the run, but that's going to be incomplete.
I'll tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. Here's Logan Cook now as he's on to punt for Jacksonville. It's a 39-yard punt, and good coverage means a loss on the return. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. The Browns drive about to get started. They came into this one with a vision, Charles, and it has played out exactly as they had hoped, if not even better. They've got the huge lead here, and now the football for the final moments of the fourth.
Yeah, and it was apparent that they were the better team.
And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals.
Well, when they said before the game that they were going to try and execute every second of this contest, I guess that was taken literally, because here they are in the final moments of the fourth, putting another touchdown on the board, Charles, to add to this big lead.
I'm not a big believer in 110%. But it certainly applies here, doesn't it? Because some guys just can't go with less. As long as there's time left on the clock, they're pushing to get to the end zone one more time. They don't really care about what the optics show. They just want to finish the game off the way that they like to play it. Full speed, all out.
24! Hey, 59! 54 is down, he's coming. Hey, we got to snap it.
Looking to maybe throw for it here, Watson. And this is going to be caught. So add 2 more to the lead as they continue to pour it on here in the fourth.
Personally, I'd rather see him kick the extra point there than to go for 2, but it almost feels like there's a story within the story here. I mean, this isn't college. You know, size of victory, that matters in those games. Here, all you have to do is win by 1 point. That's all that you need. Instead, they go for it, get 2. You got some pretty ticked off folks on the other sideline now.
Hopkins set to kick off.
Following the touchdown, Dustin Hopkins will kick it away. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Jaguars take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
Hey, Ron!
A final shot now for Lawrence. That's to the right sideline, and it falls incomplete. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. Well, the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one, and that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. From Jacksonville, good night, everybody.